Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sunday, February 25th, 2024. I want to follow up to yesterday's video about another scammer in the reseller community. I think most of you know her as like Poshing with Mona or Mona Poshing. Monette Mejia. You guys can tell me the name. I butcher names. I'm the worst at them. Sorry about that. So I did the video yesterday. If you missed it, I'll link it below. Apparently, there were a ton of stories. The main one, she was arrested for aggregate theft between $30,000 and $150,000. I was able to find, I'll screenshot it again, the arrest record, also the bail. I guess she's out on bond or bail. I was told also that her husband was arrested at the same time with her. I didn't see that, but I'm sure you guys can find that as well. Same last name. I didn't look it up. I didn't bother. It was her that I was worried about. We don't know what the theft charges come from. There's been a lot of stories being told around the internet, around circles and sent in DMs and messages of tons of different things and possibilities, things that she was doing or allegedly doing, that any one of them could be the result of those charges being filed. Now, I got told by multiple people over in 2023, all the way up until more recently, that she had claimed that there was a TLC show being made about reselling, about her journey and her success, and that she was actually asking people for money for them to be able to be on the TLC show with her. Everything that I've seen is that that TLC show doesn't exist. They never contacted her, and if they did, I can tell you from my own experience with production companies, they do not ask you for money to participate in the show, and they certainly do not ask a cast member who's going to be on the show to recruit other people to be on the show in exchange for those people paying you money. If anybody comes to you and says that you need to pay them and they'll get you on a reality show, and there's just somebody in the community, it's a scam. If it's a production company, 99 times out of 100, they will pay you, or if they don't pay you, they will work out like a commission base or like a publicity contract. Almost never, in fact, never have I received a contract from a production company and filming that has ever required me to pay to be a part of a show. It just doesn't work that way. So that's a huge red flag and a huge scam if somebody tells you that in the future. Just heads up. So that was happening. Reports of fake GoFundMes or GoFundMes that were receiving money in order to pay for whatever cause. I think homelessness was one, some homeless people. I don't know those stories. Those ones were beyond my knowledge, but that money wasn't actually being used for all the purposes that those GoFundMes were supporting. So it's been a lot of stories. We'll have to wait. I just wanted to update you guys that we don't know what scam or scheme resulted in the charges, but we'll find out as soon as we can. I did want to cover one thing for you guys though. Why does it seem like there are so many scammers, schemers, bad people, con men, con women, con people, shysters in the reselling community? Why is it? Now, first I can tell you that there are a lot of these people in a lot of the communities. I know somebody who's very big into the video game world, a video game YouTuber, social media content creator, and he tells me crazy things about stories that happen and people lying and cheating on games and scheming and running, cheat programs in the background. There's a lot of that going on, but they're not stealing people's money. There's a lot of scheming and scamming in the marketing, affiliate marketing world where people will tell you, pay me $2,000 and I'll teach you how to be an affiliate marketer and make tons of money. Those guys are like gurus. I think we know that. And they just are out to get your money. They make money on taking your money, not actually teaching you how to make money. In most cases, there are some legitimate ones, but not many. There are scammers in the watch world selling fake watches, fake jewelry, fake Rolexes. There's scammers in every genre and niche and category of anything you could find. But why is it so prevalent? Why does it seem like it happens so much in the reseller world? And let me tell you why. So this reselling community, whether you watch people on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, they are a part of that community. The normal people are a part of that community. They want to learn, and they specifically want to learn how to make money. And if somebody is coming to a community to learn to make money, generally they're desperate because they have to find some way to make money or get themselves out of a bad situation. Or if they're not desperate, there's somebody who just wants to learn more and grow what they've already built. They might have a fairly successful business or a good side hustle, and they want to learn and grow more. And when they see somebody who has success or supposedly has success, it's inspiring. It's motivational. You're like, wow, that's where I want to be. You know, if you've got this desperate person trying to make money, or you've got this person who's just thinks they're this close, you know, they're doing well, but they just need to get over that hump, and they see somebody who they think is over that hump, it resonates with them, and they get attached and they watch. And they watch your whatnot shows and your YouTube channel and your Instagram, and immediately they become, I don't know, enthralled is the word, where it's, you know, this is a nice person. They're being so nice to me. They're talking to me on YouTube, and they're replying to my comments and my live chat, and they're, you know, showing us how to do things, and they're sharing all this information. And that's sort of the problem. The word con man and con woman come from the word confidence man. They win you over. A scam or a con or a lie is not going to work unless the person you're pulling the scam or the trick on is fully devoted to you and fully believes in you and doesn't think you're going to do any wrong. The overwhelming majority of all the comments I received on YouTube and Instagram, and you can go read them yourself on my latest videos, is nobody would have suspected this person as a scammer or a bad person. They were in love with her. They followed her for years. This is what we constantly see, is that these people that pull these scams, they dedicate themselves to looking like good people and looking like a sheep in, you know, a wolf in sheep's clothes. They got to look like a sheep, because if they look like a wolf, you're never going to go near them, right? But if they look like a sheep, they're going to get you herded up, and then they're going to slaughter you. They're going to eat you. And that's the sad reality of the reseller world, is that a lot of people are very impressionable and want to learn and want to make money. And when they see somebody else making money, they will fall for the lies, hook, line, and sinker. And so I get asked a lot too. Somebody commented on the last video, how do we know anymore? How can we tell who's actually a good person and who's a bad person, and who's telling the truth and who's lying? It's so hard anymore. And hey, look, I agree. It's really hard for me. I go on social media and I follow people off and on here and there. And I'm like, hey, this looks like a cool person. They got a cool account. They're buying, they're selling. It looks like they're doing well. Their business, they got a smile. They talk nice. You know, I'm going to follow this person. And then like a month later, 2 months later, I see stuff and I'm like, wow, like seriously, I should have unfollowed them weeks ago, because they're completely full of crap. Like I literally see it constantly. And I see people say it about me on my channel, and that's fine if that's what you think and you unfollow me, or you think I'm just feeding these lines. You know, I would say the easiest way to tell the real people from the fake people, the red flags are one. Like there's certainly things that are red flags that are huge things you can't miss. There are things that are small where people might point this out or point that out and you don't notice it as much. Take note of things, right? There are people who say, you know, to notice a bad person, we look at their reviews, we look at their comments and their feedback, but that's not always the case, because they've tricked so many other people. They can bury the bad with the good. And we've seen that on somebody that I've made videos about, where they get hundreds of good reviews because they do these minor things good, and then the bad ones just get drowned out. So you can't always go off of that, right? Like they've gotten very good at hiding behind the crowd that supports them. So it's tough. I can't give you an answer on how you know somebody is good and somebody is bad. But I'll tell you this, as far as my self goes and my accounts and my things, look at somebody's history. Look at their story. Has their story changed year after year, month after month, day after day? That is something I think is the easiest way that I can tell. I can see somebody, you know, we take the Nicole States of the world, Nicole Sarazans of the world. It's always changing. It's this business and that and this different thing and this failed and this went. It's fine to start new businesses or open new projects, but when you're constantly opening and closing and hiding and leaving social media and this is like a trail. It's like a breadcrumb trail, right? Where they can't keep the story straight. The story's always changing. The directive is always, you know, the narrative is always different. You look back at somebody like me, for example, and it's never changed. I moved to Florida in 2005. As a young kid trying to learn how to resell on Craigslist, and there was no Facebook, there was barely an Amazon, learning eBay, and I built from there and built year after year, and I've been here with you guys for almost a decade on social media. You've seen me go from new house, from condo to new house to new house. You've seen the advances in the business. You've seen me open wholesale and listing services, which are still here. They're still doing business. They're still helping people grow And you won't go out into the world and find somebody who's going to start a thread that says, I took money from them and didn't give them their money back or their services or their product, and I just ran off and stole their money. Yet you see these other people, multiple ones, who we can find hundreds and hundreds and dozens of people who can say, yeah, that person took money from me. That person stole money from me. That person stole inventory. That's how you can tell. When the story comes out and you start getting people crawling out from the woodworks to tell their story one after another, after another, after another, that's a bad person. If you take somebody like a Vanessa of Ad is Rad, or you take me, or you take a Katie Reeds, or you take a Rally Roots, or you take a Chaz, Side Hustle Pros, and I put Chaz out in a Facebook group right now, and I'm like, has anybody had a negative experience with Chaz where Chaz stole your money or stole your inventory or did anything? You're not going to get a response. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? You're not going to find one, much less 10, 50, 100 people like we see with these other stories. You put a Rally Roots in there, no, not everybody likes Ryan and Allie. They're not everyone's cup of tea. And they've had their issues with people arguing over vintage shirts or this and that. But you're not going to find a group of people to come together and go, Ryan and Allie stole my money. Ryan and Allie scammed me. You're not going to find one person. You'll find some disgruntled customers who just don't like them. It happens. I've got my haters as well, right? We all have our haters. But you're never going to be able to plant that in the good people, in the Chazes and the Ryans and the Katies and the me's and the Vanessas. You just simply won't find it. And that's how you can identify who's good and who's bad in a community. Go to these people that I just named to you and ask them, like all these people, which ones have red flags. They'll share with you, I promise. Tell them I sent you over there, right? So don't fall for the scams, guys. Don't fall for the craziness. Don't let these people envelop you. Just because they talk to you nicely on YouTube and whatnot doesn't mean they're good people. There's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of bad ones too. Don't fall for this stuff. If your gut tells you it's bad and it's a red flag, go with your gut, go with your red flag, and then start asking around. Start finding out, researching, investigating, digging. I know it sounds crappy, but you'd rather spend a little bit of time educating yourself rather than a bunch of time later trying to recover the money or the scam that you fell for. And for everyone who's fallen for a scam, don't feel bad about it. Learn from it. It happens to the best of us, but make sure you learn why you fell for that scam, not just that you fell for it and your money or your time or your product. Make sure you understand why you fell for it, what happened to reel you in so that it doesn't happen again. That's kind of my advice to you guys. You can do what you want with it. Appreciate you watching as always. We have another amazing video. I have another amazing video for you tomorrow. Absolutely insane video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and check in tomorrow, Monday the 26th, probably around dinner time. I'll have it up. And as always, hit that like button. Helps the algorithm. I appreciate it. And we'll do follow-ups once I find out more about this story and what actually happened. Oh boy, strap in. It's going to be a good springtime here in the reseller community. Thank you, everyone. Check out the links down below. I will link my listing service and my fulfillment service if you want me to store your items just like Amazon does for FBA, but I do it for eBay, Mercari, Etsy, and Shopify. Hit me up, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll get you the process and pricing, and we'll get you all set up with your inventory in our building where we will store it, we will pick it, we will pack it, and fulfill it for you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I'll see you next time.